Hello there, everybody. Just getting everything set up here. Welcome to the Circle of Light meditation. It's been a little while since I've done this, so it's nice to be doing this again. All right, let's see. Okay, I'm getting in all the places. Okay. I have a little bit of a cold, as you can tell, so I'm still recovering from that. Um, but I think my voice is working as well as it can be, as it can work at this point, moment in time. So I hope you all are doing all right. I've been doing these circle New Earth Collective virtual gatherings on Wednesdays, and so I haven't. I was doing this live meditation every Wednesday, but there's been so many things happening that I haven't been doing this for a little while. So it's nice to be back here and connecting with you all. I've had a busy day, clients, and then I went to look at paper for the book that I'm about to have printed, the Tools for the Awakening Soul book that I'm about to finally release after a few years of working on it intensively and then 6 years of kind of working on it. So I'm very excited to do that. I will believe it and feel it when it's actually in my hands. But in the meantime, the energies around us are, as always, just chaotic, kind of upheaval energy. And the other day I was doing meditation. I always go out in the morning and just, connect with nature, sit under a tree. But actually, I went back inside when I do some kind of intuitive work in the Akashic Records or just trying to connect in with something. It's often, I feel like having a container, a space is often helpful. And so I was just connecting in, and of course, I love connecting with Jesus, and Jesus is always there. Yeshua, who I often hear him identify himself as, and a bunch of other ascended masters were there. And there's been so many different events happening in our world, in our collective. And I won't go into those, but I think what we do know is that there's the 3Ds raging. The fear control matrix is raging, and all these, it's like fighting and pulling out all these stops to try to suck people back in. So and there's been tragedies that have happened and things that are really painful, a lot of pain. And when I am at a loss for words of what to say about those things, sometimes it's silence, speaks a lot. But I often go up. I go to higher sources of guidance. And so what I shared in a post here was what came up when I was connecting in with Jesus, with Yeshua, with the ascended masters. And it was really this energy of just lifting us up one by one. Like I saw that there was this image of, people just kind of lying on the ground in sort of despair. And one by one, I didn't know who they were. They had their backs to me, but these beings were just picking us up, one by one, and holding our hands and walking with us down a path, the ascension path towards 5D, right? Towards the new earth. And I talk about that a lot, the new earth and 5D. And I think, we can kind of get impatient. We're like, when is it going to be here? Where is this new earth? And when can we actually enjoy it? And what came up in that message, and it was a good reminder for me as well, that it's not, we've been trained to really look for external things. Like, when's my life externally going to be this way? When are things going to settle? And I think, what the message was it comes from an internal place. We create our own new earth with our vibration, with our thoughts, with our energy, with our approach. And so a lot of that right now is just, we're still in the process of disengaging from the 3D. There's all these distractions, these things that are designed to create more fear. Like everywhere you look, there's different. Is that going to work and get them? No. Let's try about this. Let's try this one now. No. Okay, that didn't work. Let's try this one now. So there's all kinds of things that are just like shiny little objects, like vying for our attention. And yes, these are real things. These are real people. There's things that are heartbreaking that are happening to people. And so some people misunderstand and they think, well, if you're not focusing on it, if you're not, taking on their sorrow, then you're not compassionate. In fact, this is really more about sending out prayer, sending out light, and knowing that there's so much more happening at a higher level that it's not as everything, nothing is what it seems. And those of you listening, you know what I'm talking about. The most that we can do and that we're being asked to do is really just focus, like eyes on the prize, focus on where we're going, focus on that feeling of connection and unity and oneness and heart opening with other people, other beings. There's some people who are not there yet. There's some who are not going to want to do that with us yet, but there are many people who are. So that, I think for a lot of us, we're kind of in this little bit of a waiting game. We're just kind of observing and feeling what's happening in the collective. And, of course, we have our own soul lessons to move through. There's things that happen in our lives, situations, old patterns that are coming up to be cleared and transmuted. We have this gift, right? Yes, thank you. What a wonderful gift of opportunities to clear and release any old habits, patterns, associations that are not serving us any longer, that are based in lack, based in not being enough, based in division, based in fear, based in any of these ego-based things, past lives, like accumulation of trauma from past lives, things from our childhood. We have the tools now to really move through them. We have the ability, and our quieting the mind practice that we have is essential. Our meditation practice, which is prayer is asking, meditation is listening, right? So taking that time to really just come into stillness and quiet brings us a sense of peace, that everything's going to be okay, that we're watching this raging around us. And while it can trigger and activate things within us, the more that we can trust and just allow the dust to kind of settle and take intuitively guided action when needed, but this is all, it's a slow process. We want we want the new earth to pop up overnight. We want things to just magically get better, but it's with our own approach that we start to live in this way of being where we see this chaos raging, and people that are still working through their soul lessons in the 3D are working through that as they hopefully awaken. In the meantime, we are doing our own inner work as well and trying to, embody that light and that sense of just peace and truth and awareness of what's happening within ourselves, or just opening to learning that then others feel around us, that we can model for others around us. So that's, that's the goal, I believe. It's definitely easier said than done sometimes. And there's so much energy that's coming at us that we really need to rest too. There's a lot of resting that needs to happen. Sleep. I was working too much, and that's how staying up too late, and that's how I got this cold. So our bodies will tell us, right? They'll tell us when it's time. So, all right, let's do a meditation. So I'm going to put my earpiece in here for clarity. Hopefully I won't cough too much. Got some cough drops here if needed. All right, so let's come in to stillness and connect with the Ascended Masters who are here for us always. So take some deep, full breaths in, slow breaths out, bringing in light, bringing in expansion in your body. And then as you exhale out, just releasing anything that doesn't belong, anything that's heavy, tight, that's weighing you down. Let's begin to let that go as much as you can. Full breath in, hold the breath. This really does so much for us to clear out and cleanse out energy with this oxygen. Slowly let the air out. Feels so good. Just to deflate, just to release. On the exhale, now just breathe naturally. With all that's happening in the outer world, it's really quite simple when we come back into what is true and what is real in our bodies. Our breath is here for us, flowing in, flowing out, always. Our hearts are beating, pumping blood through our bodies. All the systems in our bodies working together in perfect harmony. All the nerves, circulatory system, the organs doing their jobs, our muscular system, our skeletal system holding us up. Just honoring all that you are in this miraculous vessel. And just allowing yourself to drop down into a deeper state of peace, as if you're just sinking in to soft cushions in a bed at the end of a long day, just letting the pillow hold you up, putting the cushions, letting the comforters wrap around you, just being cradled, held, nurtured here. And begin to feel the presence of divine beings approaching you, just getting closer, surrounding you. They're always respectful of our boundaries. They're not going to intrude. They're not going to push themselves on us. This is part of our free will, is to invite them in and ask for their assistance. And now we're asking them to be here, and just make a note of who seems to be around you. It's unconditional love, these beings filled with compassion and wisdom and eternal knowledge, here to help us raise our consciousness and expand into our light bodies. Those who once walked on earth, who incarnated in human vessels, and who evolved beyond the limitations of ego and became one with the light. These ascended masters. Feel their presence. Become aware of who is here with you. Maybe there's one who stands out in particular. And just connect with that being's energy. Thank them for being here, and even ask them, why have you chosen to be here with me now? Just noticing what comes up, feeling word, image, just following the energy, asking and receiving. You can ask, what message do you have for me now? Ask this loving being, what message do you have for me now? And feel the light, colors, the energy from this being swirling around you, helping to cleanse your body, your light body, your physical body, your etheric body, your astral body, every level of your mind, body, spirit, and soul. Feel this light swirling through and lifting, pulling, cleansing any dense, heavy, unwanted energy out of your body. It's just not needed. It is weighing you down. It's time to let it go. Allow this light to clear it away like a gust of wind, just blowing that stuff out of your body. And then feel the light, feel colors. Notice the different colors of the rainbow that are coming in. Maybe there's one color, maybe there's a few. Feel that light. This is strong ray. These are rays. Maybe there's a violet ray, maybe there's a pink ray, maybe there's a blue ray associated with these ascended masters, with a specific one that is designed specifically for you and your vibrational state at this point in time. Allow this ray, like a laser beam, to be integrated into your body at a cellular level. Just receive this beam of light through your bloodstream, through your bones. Allow it to do its work. And feel yourself shedding layers, as if it's like clothes that you no longer need, or as if you're taking off your armor. Feel these layers of density and old stuff just falling off of you, just being removed, and feel yourself feeling lighter, rising up, almost like you're floating. You've released that. Now you can be lifted, just like a balloon that's beginning to float. But this balloon of your body, you're tethered. You have an anchor through that string, through that silver cord, connecting you with the earth. You're not going to float away. You're just rising above. Feel yourself rising above. All the chaos, all the fighting, all the division, the us versus them, the pro versus anti, the left versus right, all this chaos, this fear, this 3D nonsense. Just rise, feel yourself rising above with compassion, with unconditional love. Feel others rising above with you. And notice what that feels like. Moving towards peace, towards joy, towards pure presence, connection, unity, consciousness, oneness, towards the light. And feel these ascended masters showing you the way, walking the path, maybe with you, holding your hand, showing you the way, or maybe they walk a little bit in front, or maybe behind, offering you support. And together we move forward, onward, above. Knowing this place we are flowing to, we may not know what it is or what it looks like or even what it feels like, but we trust in this glimpse that we're being given that it is right. We're being guided toward the light, drawn towards this lighter new earth. Just feel it through your hearts, the energy pulling you in. Allow yourself to be guided towards the fifth dimensional way. Trusting as the 3D crumbles, we're building the 5D. Sharing, supporting each other, being of service, caring for each other, caring for animals, caring for plants, caring for the earth, having fun, and doing our light work for the collective. So we're going to take some deep breaths, just sealing this in, anchoring this in, giving thanks. Bring your hands in prayer position if you want, to your heart center, in your lap, over your heart. Just honoring these divine beings for being here with us, honoring and bowing to yourself for all that you're doing, all that you volunteered for in this life. Just receiving that admiration from our guides and masters and angels and all these divine beings of light, from the divine source of God. Honoring the choice that we made to incarnate, to help the planet move into this higher state of consciousness, to help humanity move into this higher state of consciousness. May we have strength and courage and have trust and wisdom in where we are going. May we receive the guidance that is here for us, knowing when to ask, knowing how to receive. May we take intuitively guided action when needed, and may we rest when needed. May we have compassion for those who are suffering, who are confused, who are in fear, and open our hearts to them in forgiveness and in love when they are ready to join us here. And may we be guided by our hearts and by a pure and unconditional love for ourselves and for the collective, always. May it be so, and so it is. So take a deep breath in, slow exhale, and come back into your body, stretching out. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. So thank you for being here with me today. I'm just always honored and blessed and to share this space with you all. I'm always curious to hear what people's experiences are like. If you want to share that here and type it in the comments, even if I can't see it on Facebook right away, I will check it out after, or in Zoom, or even in Instagram. I think it's working. Oh, yeah, it's working. Okay. Anyway, so I was connecting with, it was interesting. I don't often connect with this being, but it was Kuan Yin. Very interesting, divine feminine being who I know about, but I haven't connected with her, but she was right there. So, and her message was unconditional love. So maybe you picked up on that sort of vibration as well. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got for this evening. I do want to say that now more than ever, you heard me talking in the meditation about the others moving with us into this higher state of consciousness. The New Earth Collective is what I have created to help light workers come together for that support, to feel that shared energy, to kind of help each lift. We help lift each other up as we move into these higher states of consciousness. We cannot do this alone. It's not, that's not the way anymore. Um, so we're doing a lot of, I'm doing a lot of things with the New Earth Collective now. It's not just meetings in person, or meetings in general, in person or virtual, but it's a way of bringing people together for that mutual support and shared learning and just carrying that light and embodying that light together. So if you want to check it out, I'll post it here. We have virtual gathering coming up in June on Mary Magdalene and connecting with, there's that divine feminine energy again. Reading the Sophia Code Activation, which is a book written or channeled by Kaya Ra. Very powerful prayer and activation of that divine feminine energy with Mary Magdalene. And then we have an in-person gathering as well in June, which is a potluck and a bonfire at my house. And then coming up, we have some really cool things. We actually did edible plant foraging, flower essences, survival skills in the wilderness, some craniosacral practice, doing craniosacral, which is like, healing light with touch, and doing some breath work. So this is all coming up through the fall. And yeah, so hopefully you'll join us there if you want to make new friends, like-minded friends, be on this path together, lift each other up together. All right. Many blessings. Thank you all for being here. And let's see, are we doing this next week? The schedule's kind of off nowadays because I'm doing so many different things now on Wednesdays. That's when we often have these virtual gatherings, are on Wednesdays. But I think we are. I think I'm back here again next week. But if not, I'll let you all know. Okay. Take care. Have a good night. Bye.